Hey guys, it's Britt. Tonight I'm here with some updated thoughts on Bits of Brie and her move to Hawaii. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I did a poll on my community tab and you guys wanted to hear my recent thoughts. Bits of Brie is a mommy vlogger here on YouTube. She has 394,000 subscribers, which is a very sizable audience. A few months ago, she decided to come to her platform and claim that they were moving to Hawaii. The issue is that they are actually renting their house, which is a massive house on the beach. It's absolutely beautiful. Y'all want to talk about something to be jealous of? I am jealous of living on a multi-million-dollar house on the beach. I'll give it to her. Like, you know, as far as everything else, it's all fake and fabricated. But yeah, sure, if someone wants to put me up in a house on the beach in Hawaii, absolutely, I would take it. As people on the internet can usually do, they saw right through her whole storyline. There is a program called the Movers and Shakas, where if you move to Hawaii for a short period of time, they will basically put you up in a house, and you know, that's part of the gig. I have a whole nother video discussing that. I'll link below if you're interested. Instead of just saying that her and her husband were going there to be part of this program and do vlogs based around it, I mean, that would have been cool. You know, you still have a house in Ohio. It's all good. You're going to Hawaii for 3 months to be part of this program. You're bringing your viewers along. No, she couldn't do that because honesty is way too good for most of these family vloggers and YouTubers in general. So she decides to say that they are moving to Hawaii. And one of the things is that if you're moving across the country, typically if you are paying an astronomical amount of money for a rental, whether or not she's paying for this rental, if you say you're going to move somewhere, typically one of the first things that you do is you start house hunting. That is not what happened with her. She drew out this whole storyline, continued to, you know, not address the fact that they weren't house hunting. And now, after being called out for months, they finally have put up 2 videos within the last week talking about house hunting. And it took long enough, you know, only addressed it once they were called out, but that's typically what YouTubers do. So this one video says, day in the life of a mom of 3, come house hunting with us. And I want to look at the like to dislike ratio. So the like to dislike is 3K likes to 142 dislikes. Most people in the comments are eating it up. You know, it all goes back to the critical thinking part where they don't think of, oh, well, there's this Movers and Shakas program, the timeline matches up. They didn't sell their house in Ohio. They didn't pack their entire house when they left Ohio. They packed as if they were going on an extended vacation. People aren't putting those together, which is fine. One of the comments left on her video I found very interesting. Someone said, okay, I'm going to vent. I'm a local Hawaiian from Oahu. It really upsets me when locals buy our houses, and yes, we love when you visit. Come, you're welcome. But to move, I'm sorry, no. Non-locals buy our houses and make our living hard. We have more homeowners in Hawaii who are not even from here than we do our native people. It really upsets me. Think about what you were doing. Someone had to say something. So that's something from an actual local, and this must be an issue to the people who live in Hawaii, you know, on the islands. So I thought that was really interesting, but things just aren't lining up. And it's so clear that she is, in my opinion, starting to build the narrative that buying a house in Hawaii is just far too competitive. It's not going to work out. And she's putting everything in God's hands, which is verbatim what she has said multiple times. They're on God's time. It's in God's hands. If it works out, then it works out. But I think that she is starting to place the pieces for this storyline to say that they were outbid. They couldn't find a house that they liked. You know, whatever nonsense she's going to come out with.
Sure be it anymore. And that's just hard because then you feel like pressure and then you feel like your heart gets broken.
One of the things I really wanted to talk about in this video is the fact that qualifying for a mortgage when you are self-employed, Bits of Brie is a 1099 employee. She gets money from Google or from brands that she works with on sponsorships. Qualifying for a second mortgage when you are a 1099 employee, unless you are making an insane amount of money from YouTube, which she has a good following, but she's not making millions upon millions of dollars. So the big thing that's not being addressed here is that they have a home in Ohio that has a mortgage on it. This process would be qualifying for a second mortgage in Hawaii. So, in order to do that, the loan to value ratio would have to fit in with the lender's requirements. Secondly, having cash to put down. Thirdly, still considering that you have a mortgage and a house full of bills, monthly expenses tied to your house in Ohio. So in my opinion, I really don't see how any of those could work out in their favor. I just don't think that they have the means to be able to qualify for the second mortgage. Now, as far as the looking at houses subject on its own, it's really funny because she really thinks that people are so naive, and some of them are, to think that going to this open house that she went to equates to we're buying a house. Like she's not working with a realtor. They literally found an open house and went to it just for vlog footage. And when you look at this house, I'll throw up some screen grabs. This is not a mommy vlogger type house. It is far too normal for someone like Brie. And it's small, the bedrooms are small, backyard is massive, which is really cool, but it is not on the level of what a family vlogger would be interested in. When you see it, it's just so glaringly obvious that they found this random open house to go to just for vlog footage. It's the weirdest thing ever. I notice this pattern with YouTubers so often where they'll tell one small lie and they have to carry out the lie, and the lengths that they go to in order to carry it out for months is far more work than just being honest in the first place. It's crazy to me how much work goes into keeping up with lies. That's why I always say, come to YouTube, don't be a liar and don't be an asshole. Because those two things are, it's very hard to keep up with lies. It's much easier to just be honest, and then you can recall events because you know that you're telling the truth. And secondly, the asshole thing, I don't think Brie is. In fact, she's probably very nice. But these small lies really stack up against you. And when this comes out, because in my personal opinion, I think here in the next couple of months, the Movers and Shakers program is going to come to an end. They're going to return to Ohio and blame it on the housing market being far too competitive in Hawaii, them not finding a house that they liked, it wouldn't fit what they need. When at the end of the day, their house in Ohio is very much a weight on their ankle. They're not going to be able to approve for a second mortgage, still owning their home in Ohio. So either way, 1099 employees can be very interesting for lenders to work with. You have to show a pattern of making a very consistent amount of money, and anyone that has a YouTube channel would know, unless you are over 1 million subscribers and your views are very consistent throughout, it's very hard to be able to prove that you are having a steady cash flow every single month, unless you're making a crazy amount of money, and then obviously that's different. But a lot of the family vloggers, their views do fluctuate because there are some people who are waking up and over the last couple of months have lost interest in watching content from family vloggers. So you never know, some of these people watched the content initially and then lost interest because they feel like once the fame comes, the relatability goes out the window, which I have heard from so many different people, and they unsubscribe and they stop watching, or they stay subscribed but they don't watch because they don't feel like they can relate with that YouTuber anymore. The last thing I want to talk about in this video, and I always have to put this disclaimer before I talk about anything to do with kids or parenting. I don't have kids, but I still look at things from a very logical point of view, I feel like, most of the time. When it comes to her bringing her kids to this open house that they went to, her kids were outside. They were jumping all over furniture. The owners of the home still had all of their stuff in the house. So she was allowing her kids to jump all over the furniture, run around, act all crazy, go outside, put their feet on the couch. It was really embarrassing to see that. I could not believe the fact that, kids are crazy. They have a lot of energy. But to allow your kids to jump on someone else's furniture, I felt like was very telling. Just on my personal opinion when it comes to Brie. Tacky, didn't like that. But again, who am I? I'm just someone with an opinion. So someone in the comments said, this is exactly, do you think it's okay for your kids to run wild in someone's home, jump on their furniture, and touch things that don't belong to them? And it has 60 likes. And then someone said, I thought I was the only one noticing that. Bare feet on the furniture after being outside. I was yelling at my TV. Someone else said, seriously, you cannot anticipate every move your kids will make. It was an innocent moment in their life of a little child who was excited to and happy. You don't know what conversations happen off camera. Oh, these people are so fucking stupid. Unbelievable. They think they're above everyone else. So my personal prediction, whether or not I'm right, is that we are approaching 3 months, and because they didn't even start looking until the past couple of weeks, at least not that they're showing on their channel, she's going to blame it on a time crunch, God not putting it in their favor, the bidding war, some kind of something. But at the end of the day, I think that this was an extended vacation. I think that it was always intended to be that. And instead of just saying that, because that doesn't sound cool enough, I guess, for her channel, she decided to come up with this big fabrication. And now she's having to live that out by going to random open houses and letting her kids jump all over someone else's furniture. So those are my updated thoughts. We will see what happens going forward. But for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.